All right, question. Are you guys on your phones or your laptop?
Phone.
Phone. Okay, Sharon, what are you on? Sharon?
Phone. I'm sorry. I'm on my phone.
Okay. Because I was going to ask if you could go to your YouTube, but since you're on your phone, then you won't be able to do that.
My YouTube.
Well, can I get it on the TV?
You should be able to. So if
I
you
can
can
get
like,
YouTube on the
you know,
TV.
interact from the YouTube as well. Because what I'm trying to get you guys to do is be in the Zoom and also interact in the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Like I'm on my computer right now, but I'm also in the YouTube channel in the chat. Welcome everyone. I'm Savon.
Savon, what's the name? Founding Players. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes, Founding Players. FOUNDING Players. Welcome everyone. I'm Savon Smith. I'm Woody Kelly.
I'm Edwin Bellevue.
Our seminar is brought to you by www.foundingplayers.org. Please donate at our PayPal link on our website or at our Cash App at #FoundingPlayers24 or cell SMI@gmail.com. Your donation, we are offering a 20% discount of your stay at Founding Players Home Away from Home in Columbus Heights, Costa Rica, Jamaica. Treat yourself to a well-deserved vacation with your 20% discount on your stay at our property. Please share our organization and property with your family and friends. Book with us. About us. We are an organization created to teach financial literacy to children and adults. Our seminars will educate people in areas such as managing credit, making investments, buying a home, life insurance. We want to use these financial seminars to educate people who would otherwise not be learning about these crucial topics. The home, located in Costa Rica's Columbus Heights, the home away from home, a private hillside condo overlooking the beautiful bay and city view. A 2-bedroom furnished apartment with kitchen, living room, and private balcony. Included are great amenities such as a pool, gym, Wi-Fi, and household essentials. The area. Take a few minutes drive to the famous Lone River Falls, visit the beach at the bottom of the hill, and experience the casual and fine dining of Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville restaurant. To take the time and read a few of our testimonials at the bottom of our Airbnb. Book with us. Thank you, everyone. Support and Founding Players. Play component. Okay, we're back. We're back. So that was our little introduction of our home. Well, I'm Savon Smith. I'm the founder of Savon's Academy Stars, which is a basketball program with the city of West Palm Beach. well, actually Royal Palm Beach in West Palm Beach. I work out of the Royal Palm Beach Recreation Center. I started the program in 2009, and it's produced some Division I, Division II, and Division III players. And I'm very proud of those guys. So I named this organization Founding Players, named after those guys, because I'm proud, to have helped those guys accomplish getting scholarships to college, which saved their parents money, from paying for college. Now, again, I'm the founder of Savants Academy Stars, as well as this organization, Founding Players. And both are nonprofit organizations. When anyone stay at our Airbnb, the proceeds go and help the children as well. So again, we're definitely proud for these accomplishments. So if you guys could go down the line and just introduce yourself.
Ladies first.
Sharon.
Sharon.
Sharon, you're up.
She's still on.
Hello, Sharon.
Well, good evening, guys. My name is Sharon Myers.
We can't hear you.
I reside. Can you hear me?
Very low.
You can hear me?
You're very low.
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing, but low, very low. I think you want to hit the volume on your speaker on the YouTube. There's a thing that you could hit to bring your volume up. Very low.
Wow.
It's either in the right corner or the top right corner or the bottom right or the top left or the bottom left, but it's there. I'm hearing, but low. We were hearing you before, now you low. Andrew, why don't you go? We'll wait for Sharon to get our volume working.
Sharon, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing
How
you,
about
but
now? Is that
we're not
better?
really.
You can't hear her now?
Is that better?
No, you still sound very low, but why don't you go ahead? We'll take what we can get from you.
You can hear me.
Sharon,
you can't hear me? I can hear you loud and clear.
Andrew, just go ahead and introduce yourself.
Andrew Jackson, home improvement contractor, truck driver, all around everything, helper.
Hello?
I think we have a delay
Can you
problem.
hear me?
Can you hear her?
I can barely hear you guys.
I had to mute my mic.
I sincerely apologize.
You
No,
might
no.
want to sign out and sign back in, Sharon. Try to log off and log back in.
I think there's a major delay, like she's getting it like long after. So maybe, is there a way you can call her and tell her? Yeah, there's a delay.
Yeah.
There's a massive delay, yeah.
Yeah, let me try.
Yeah, there's a delay.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
All right, here you go, Mom. I'm actually your grandson, though.
Hey, Sharon,
Yes.
you gotta leave that
That's
stuff to the young folks. See that? Your son came and fixed it.
Yeah, that's good.
My grandson.
Can you hear me?
Oh, your grandson came and fixed you.
All right,
Yes.
here you go, Mom.
That's why the kids are the future.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
Young folks, see that? Your son came and fixed
Hold on. Somebody have a TV on? The TV has a
Okay.
delay. Yeah,
So
so you have
let
to
me
turn
turn
the TV
let
off.
me turn the YouTube off then.
Yeah, turn
No,
the
no,
TV
don't turn it off. Turn the volume down.
down. Yeah, turn the volume down because there's a delay on it and it's coming through long after. It's like about a 10-second delay.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I'm not. I'm.
Hold on. Somebody have a TV on? The TV has a delay.
How is that? Is that
Yes,
better?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Sincerely apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay, so my name is Sharon Myers. I reside in Chicago, Illinois. I work for a corporate office in downtown Chicago. It's a supportive living for a senior citizen. I won't say what I do, but I've worked in this long-term care setting for over 30 years. I enjoy what I do. I do have 3 children and 2 grandsons, and I have an extensive family. I'm the 9th of 12 children, 6 boys and 6 girls. And I met Savon through my nephew, Damien, who resides in Jamaica. Anything else?
No, that's good enough.
That's
Now
a
it's
good
ended.
introduction. That's very good.
Mhm.
She gave me some things on the fly, you know what I mean? She's gonna make my introduction better too.
That's okay. I didn't want to say too much, but go
Oh,
ahead.
boy. That's good. All right, Andrew Jackson. I'm a home improvement contractor. I got many talents, and every so often I switch between them. I used to have a trucking company. I still drive truck every so often, but I no longer deal with trucks. I'm strictly home improvement now. I am versed plumbing, electrical, and I can build your house if you want. And I love doing bathrooms and kitchen mostly. That's what sells house. You know, anytime anybody want sell them house, they either fix up the bathroom or kitchen, and that's what sell the house. You know.
Yeah.
Um, got 8 brothers. I mean, there's 8 of us. 4 boys and 4 girls, and 2 are still in Jamaica, and the rest is here. And you know, I like to help people to do stuff. You know, and you know, this dude right here, I know him since we was like um in
Ooh.
Linfield School, Jamaica. Long time. We used to walk home from school together, you know, on the train line. Like it's like a great thing to come back full circle. I haven't seen him in like over
Remember, I said I'm 22
yeah,
years old.
22, but you know, but you know, it's a good feeling, you know, when you can link up back with somebody like for years later and they're still better, they're better than what you remember they are, you know what I mean? So it's a good thing to see people grow up and still care for people and care to reach out and care to do things for the community and other people, you know, you would want people to do for you and do for themselves and to help others. So it's a good thing, and I respect that so much. I like to help people that help others and help to propel themselves through life. You know, this is all. This is it. These are the things that we're supposed to do so we can move through life. You know, nothing selfish. You know,
That's right.
so this is a good feeling. So, and I so far we had a talk last night, and I loved it a lot. And I'm trying to get some people over too, so we can. You know, we need to do things like this. You know, even though we're like miles away from each other, you know, it's a good talk. And if you talk to somebody the night before and it make you think about stuff the next day, then it had an impact on you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So that's me right here. Anytime you guys need anything, just give me a call.
Okay.
Well, we're definitely gonna give you a call on, the home in Jamaica as
Yeah.
far as, maybe fixing up that bathroom and, like you said, in the kitchen, because it definitely needs some work.
Yeah.
So in due time, we'll be able to take care of that. So we'll talk on that. And you said you wanted to take a trip there, I believe in end of March or sometime in April. So we'll talk on that too. So maybe during that trip, you may be able to do something for us, at the home to, give it a better look, you
Yep.
know. So that'll be great. All right. Well, we're gonna jump into it. We won't get into the red day yet on the stock market. We'll just jump into the topic at hand today. Today's topic is financial strain. So Andrew, yesterday you kind of mentioned a few things. Us being here in the United States, we have family and friends, in the island, our other islands. So we're not just talking of Jamaica. So I know Alan, who's not here tonight, Alan is from Haiti, and we all have family, in our native islands, and we all feel like we're, in a better position, to help someone. But sometimes it can be a financial strain on us, to be able to help ourselves as well as help someone else, and you touched on sometimes you're reaching out and helping someone and you kind of feel like they're not really appreciative of the help that you provide because sometimes they take that for granted, you know. So I'm here today to say, what is the solution to want to help someone who's having the financial strain as well as we are having the financial strain, but we are in a better position to help? What is the solution? And that's what we're here to talk about tonight. Like, each of us is going to take 2 minutes or try to do our best to stay within that 2 minutes, to explain a little bit what is the solution that you think. I want to give everybody a chance to say, what is the solution? You want to start? Who wants to start?
Well, I can start.
Okay.
I guess it's because I have a family member, a niece that is there in Jamaica, and one of the things that I'm trying to encourage her to do is that, we still have our own, responsibility here in paying our bills, our mortgages, light bill, etc., school fee, and all that stuff. So therefore, I can't send her money every month. So I told her to find her hidden talent, and she mentioned that her mom has a shop, and she would like to, use that shop to her advantage. So I explained to her that, that would be a good idea, that in whatever we send her, she can invest that money in that shop, and whatever profit that she makes, turn that money over, to buy products, for the shop. But it never come to fruition at all. She's expecting us to continue to just send her money every month. And I told her it doesn't work like that. We can give you a start. You take that money and invest it into the products that you think will sell in the shop, and then start to build on that foundation. Because I don't believe in just handing out money like that at all. If you, I mean, we all have to work, but we're willing to help, but not consistently.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I don't want it. I think that stayed within the 2 minutes. I think that was about a minute, but that's good. And we'll come back to you, Sharon.
Mhm.
We'll move on to you, Andrew.
Well, you see, the thing is, I think it's a lack of understanding. Like, there's this false concept about, even when we was growing up, where you see people come from here to Jamaica, and there's a lot of people that go to Jamaica and act like life here is so easy. You know what I mean? Like, money come easy, and you know, a lot of people watch stuff on TV and think that is what America is about. You know what I mean? You can't watch an hour-long program and somebody even flip a house in 1 hour and you think that's what it is. So there's a false concept of how them look at stuff, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And then now, if when you tell them that you don't have it here, they find it hard to believe. Like, so well, you're supposed to have the money all the time or whatever it is, because you know how it is here. You don't pay your bills, them. Trust me. Things are
Mhm.
getting cut off. You know what I mean? You don't pay a mortgage, you lose your house. In Jamaica, if you build a house, you don't have to pay no mortgage. Some people don't have to pay for nothing. You know, if your light cut off, you maybe like some candle and you're good still. Over here, you can't do that. If your light cut off, you don't have no heat, you don't have nothing. But some of them is like a lack of understanding and they don't want to understand anything. Like even what Sharon was talking about, I tried with so many people down here and it's very painful. Like even a cousin come to me one time and she tell me that her boyfriend mother have a shop, and I try to help them out. What I try to do is tell her to go back to school, but she don't want to do that. The next thing
Mhm.
is she's telling me about this shop. But when we check out the shop and the location where the shop is, there is 10 other shop in the neighborhood. So I tell her, instead of you open a shop, do something else, because if you have 10 other shop in the neighborhood and you look at how much people live in the neighborhood, well, I'm not gonna sell this, I'm gonna sell something different. How much different can your shop be? You get what I'm saying to you? You're still selling food. You know what I mean? So some people, they don't look at things and try to understand, you know what I mean? Once they make up their mind, they have a one-track mind of how they want to make money. And you can't tell them no different. You know, because them are trying to tell you the way that they think instead of you that even run a business. You're trying to tell them that, you know, this is not how business work. And the next thing is it, you can't be running your business and then not eating your profits. You know what I mean? Because you got to put it back in there. You can't expect me to be
Mhm.
funding. You can't expect me to be funding your business. Like, you know, when you eat your profit, you want to call me now and say, I stocked it for you and tell you and give you a go ahead and say, all right, run your stuff. But every time it's going down, you want to call me and tell me that, oh, your stuff is running out. That means your business is not doing well. You know what I mean? Because you're eating your profits. You're not taking your profit and put it back into your business. But and the thing is, it sometimes what you have to do is very tough. You have to cut your losses too, because if you're trying to let them understand how to do certain things, and then now they're depending on you, and you can do 100 good, you know, but you see the one time you do one bad, then everybody dislike you. All of this time I'm helping you out, but the one time I tell you no, then I am the worst person in the world. You get what I'm saying to you? So it's a lack. And if you're dealing with somebody that's not trying to understand how life work and how business work, you know what I mean? Then they will never understand. They can never run a business. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's a lack of understanding, you know?
All right. So, yeah, we're gonna pause there.
Mhm.
Remember, 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was even checking the time. Did I go over? I went way over, right?
You went way over.
I sorry. I get passionate about things, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I get
think
really
you ran that. I think you ran that one over with the trucks
yeah,
that
yeah. I
you were
get really
driving.
anytime I'm talking, yo, it's just really, you know?
Hey, but I definitely understand it, man. It's a passion, and sometimes you feel hurt because of the hard work that you put into being the kindest person that you could be. Because when it comes to family, you want to see them have success. And in our culture, is like with I know Jamaicans, it's either we are really good or we're just
Mhm.
really bad. That's what it seems like to me, from growing up around my own culture.
Mhm.
So a lot of times when you're really trying, you're trying because you have this belief that I gotta keep trying because we're really good or we're really bad. And you're hoping that the person that's just not listening is eventually gonna listen. So you give them the rope and they just keep on hanging themselves, but you keep on trying with them. And that's what I realize about our culture. It's like we're really nice, and we're just really mean. I don't really find a good in between,
Yeah.
with our culture. Now, is there an in between? There is, but the abundance just overwhelm, the people that's in between. So it's either just real nice, because you can find some real nice Jamaicans, who are very humble, treat people right, and then you just find the ones that really just don't get it, and it all starts with listening, man. All starts with listening. But with that being said, I'm below my 2 minutes.
But can I just say one thing? I think it's just the heart of the person, the selfishness, the mentality that there's a money tree growing in your backyard in the United States, and you can just go to that tree and pick that money off. And I've also conveyed that to my niece. But when I see this individual on WhatsApp or social media, and I mean, you're dressing better than I am, then that sends a message to me. Where's the money going? And Andrew mentioned one thing that I did not, the same individual, I even mentioned to her, consider going back to school, because you did not finish high school. How far did you go? You only had one more year. I've encouraged her to go back to the school, ask them, how can you, enroll in some kind of course to finish up your high school and get your diploma. No effort was made. So if you're not interested in yourself, but you want free money, I have to cut that off, because I don't think it's fair for me to hand you money and you're dressed. I mean, you're dressed even with orange hair, when I see you, but you're not invested in your own stuff. No, can't do that. So I can't allow other people to put a financial strain on me. I'm sorry, I can't. I cannot, because it's not easy in this country as they might think. We have to drive in snow, cold weather to go to these jobs to make our money to pay our bills. So therefore, am I going to let another person put a financial strain on me? Absolutely not. I have to rethink and reevaluate my whole intent and realize that at some point you have to cut that off. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah. And, you do have to make that decision to cut people off, because it does put that strain on you if you
Yes,
continue to help someone who's not helping themselves.
absolutely.
The saying is, when you help yourself, people will always want to help you more.
Exactly.
When I do my fundraisers, and I normally do them with Publix supermarket. When we're out there and we're fundraising with the kids, most of the donations that we get really comes from the poorer people, the people who don't have it. And that's basically what we are doing when we're helping someone. We don't really have it, but out of the goodness of our hearts, we are helping and we are taking advantage of, but we're the most given people. And that's unfortunate, because the people that have it, they have to consider a lot of things why they should actually support you or give it to you. You have to have a plan for your life or what you're going to do with their money for them to give it to you. I give an example. If I went to, say, Applebee's restaurant and asked them to donate $2,000, they're going to ask me to write a letter as to what I need the money for and what they're going to get. What is the benefit to them? What is my short-term goal and what is my long-term goal? And what am I really doing with this money? And I have to show that on paper in order for them to give that money or to decide whether to give it to me or not. I have to really lay it on the line. Whereas the poorer people, they just throw it out there at you. And like you said, your niece might be wearing orange hair, but you sent it there to pay for something else, you know? And unfortunately, that's how it is, you know? And it's really unfortunate because every individual should actually take on their own responsibility. Now, if you need some help, it's okay to ask, but you should not rely on somebody else's things. You should always rely on your own, because somebody else will help you when you're helping yourself.
Mhm.
I think I'm within my 2 minutes, or maybe I went a little bit over.
Yes, you did. I'm only kidding. But that's okay.
All right, I'll make sure I pay attention to the next one. So, Andrew, your turn. Try to stay within that 2 minutes.
Just turned 9:52, so 9:54 I'm off. Let me give you a prime example. I have two brothers in Jamaica, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a couple of years, they were down there and we couldn't find them. So we finally link up with them. They were younger still. One of them, both of them, they couldn't read, couldn't write, nothing, right? And I try to send them to school and, get people to tutor them and stuff like that. One of them called me one day and said to me, say, oh, he got all his certificates and his, couple degrees and stuff. He did electrical and things like that. He called me and said to me one day and said, yo, I thank you. I'm said, for what? I say, yo, if it wasn't for you, I could have said my name pan a bowl and eat it. You know what I mean? I said, dude, it's not for me. I say, you help yourself. So, if you didn't do it, I just assist you. You know what I mean? Because I see, all right, the other one now, him, I got Jamaica 3, 4 times. I can't find him nowhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The last I remember, I paid his teacher tutors to tutor him, and the girl was so honest. The girl called me and told me, yo, don't send no more money to Jamaica because your brother is not even coming here. He not show up none at all. Yeah, up to this
Mm-hmm.
day, this dude is like 30, he is what, 38-year-old, and him still can't read. And I was helping him. And the other one that I helped, he got married the other day. He's working at a pharmacy. And this one, I'm still a run up and down all over the place like him not have no sense. So now he's calling me all the time. I ask me for stuff. I said to him, so dude, even if I have it, I wouldn't give it to you because when I was trying to help you, you don't want no help. You get what I'm saying to you? So he could have been in the same position that his other brother is in right now by helping himself. Then would I still assist you same way? When you call me after some stuff, would I say, all right, because you're trying. But why should I help you if, I mean, when I try to help you at that time, when I try to figure your education so you can better yourself, and then now you're at the point now where you're older now and you don't have anything. So you never want nothing out of life. So why should you put a strain on me now? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm keep funding you, for what reason? You're no benefit to me. You're not benefit me. You're not even benefiting yourself because then now it's like I'll be throwing money at you all the time. For what reason? I think my 2 minutes up. Yeah. I was watching it.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, guess what, man? If you don't, say all that you need to say within the 2 minutes, you could always wait for your next turn because we're just
Yeah.
trying to
But
make
sometimes the
sure.
topic change.
Well, you know what? We haven't changed the topic yet and move.
Mm-hmm.
You're freezing up.
Yeah, you freeze up for a minute. Okay, I got to restart. I don't know if you can hear me, but your video froze. Sharon is still there, right?
I'm still here. Yeah,
Yeah, you
but
froze.
he's frozen.
Mm. Yeah, in the meantime, we can talk amongst each other until him come back. The thing
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
Yeah, like the thing, you know what you say, like you try so much because it's in our DNA from like even our parents that, parents, they come here at first, them help each other out. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
But
right.
some people you have to realize when to cut your loss because they will drag you right down with them and they're not trying to do no better. Not because
Yes.
family, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you because this same niece, her daughter, I'm trying
I
to
think
get
you're
her
back.
up
I
here,
think you're
but
back, but
oh,
I
you're
think
back?
you're on mute.
I'm back. Well, I got
Yeah,
kicked
yeah,
out
you're
for
back
some
now. Yeah, yeah.
reason, but continue. I'm glad that you guys went on without me. Sharon, continue what you were saying.
No, I told him so.
I was
Oh yeah, go ahead, Sharon. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just saying that the same niece, her daughter, he's in high school, and I'm trying to get her up here, but of course I was sending her money as well too, separate from her mom. But I had to cut her off. Her last year, I said to her, "This is the last money I'm sending you because, of course, they like to dress up." But when I
Mhm.
asked her to send me her report card, and not only the report card, I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed when I saw those grades. So what are those? Those are not grades. Those aren't grades at all. So I don't understand what the problem is with a lot of us or family or people in our country. If someone is trying to steer you in the right direction, just listen. Listen and adhere to the instruction given. Don't reach out and ask me for money because you want a pair of pants or a pair of shoes to go to some function at the school. Wear what you have. I don't go shopping every day or every week or every month. I don't do that. So this is one individual that I had to her daughter. I had to just lay it down, make it plain, and be transparent to them and say it's not going to happen anymore. You have some things that you have to work on when it comes to your schoolwork, your grammar first and foremost. I mean, your grades are your grades are nothing in my opinion. I'm sorry. I don't mean to hurt her feelings, but I told her that she had got to pull her weight and make sure that she proved to me that if she does come to this country, that she can, you know, do well in any school that she's placed in. But right now, in my opinion, all they think of is gimme, 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 gimme. Somebody sent me a video. I'm not sure if you guys saw it. This girl in Jamaica she was basically complaining about what we're sending out. People that are sending barrels to Jamaica, and she had a bottle of Ensure in her hand, and was basically saying that don't send all them riffraff to them. Send them they want Ensure. I don't know if you saw that. They want Ensure. I said,
Mhm.
this girl had the audacity to put this on social media that they don't want the riffraff. They want Ensure. You don't need Ensure, girl. That's for senior citizen. So okay, somebody who needs more protein in their system, young girl walking around with a bottle of Ensure that this is what we should send them. What kind of thing is that? They are so unappreciative, and I just can't tolerate it anymore. I just can't. I just can't.
Yeah, one of the thing that I notice, Sharon, about our culture, our people in general. A lot of times when we speak on our culture, it's not that we want to harp on our culture, at least from my end, and I think for other people too, because I've sat down with quite a few Jamaicans, and a lot of us feel the same way. You
Mhm.
know, especially a lot of us who got a better opportunity by coming to the United States and seeing what the world is like, by whether traveling outside of the United States and not just, being in one place. We're able to pick up on other people's way of dealing with things. you know. And one of the things that I realize is we don't listen so well. You know, I had to teach myself how to listen because it's so hard in our culture to be able to sit and listen. I find that a lot of people in general talk over each other and you don't even make the point. For instance, when you're talking, I'm listening. When Andrew's talking, I'm listening. When I'm talking, you guys are listening. You know, I think 85% of, you know, our population, we talk over each other and there's not a lot of understanding the point that you, Sharon, may be making. You know, they all want to hear themselves and their point that they're making. And I think our culture have that a lot. And not only our culture, but we have a passion for our culture. So we harp on it because we want to see our culture do better. So even though another culture may have the same problems, we are talking about our people. We want to help our people. So we have a passion to do so. And they take even that for granted. And, you know, they say, oh, you're always negative or whatever. It's not that you're negative, your passion is no different than your kids. When you're telling your kid to constantly clean his room or clean her room, and they just hear this thing over and over and they become annoyed. But the reason why you are annoyed is just because you're not really listening, you're not really doing it, you know? So you have to become so lenient for them to listen. And then when you lenient, they take advantage. So they take advantage when you're good. They take advantage when you're hard. It's just an advantage, you know, and that needs to stop. So what is the solution to stop in people from taking advantage? You said it, it's cutting them off because you have to live in your own world, you know, and that's what I realized, live in your own world. Once you start to become financial literate, you start to understand that you have to live in your own world because they are in their own world when they're not listening to you. So you got to live in your own world when you can't help somebody else, you know. And COVID-19, to be honest with you, has opened up a lot of people's eyes, you know. So I know it has mine, and I'm sure it has you guys as well, that you have to cut people off that's not willing to listen.
All right. It's me, right?
Yes. After you go, I think Sharon started it. We'll end with Sharon. So after Sharon go, then we'll move on to the stock market because what we're discussing right now, I want it out there. So now we can go to the solution to these things that we feel.
And this is what I think the solution is. If you notice, and it's a thing that entwine itself in the Jamaican culture, right? You have some people that is always me know, but they don't know anything. Anytime you start talking to somebody and talk about me know, but they're still listening. It's like they're trying to tell you that they're intelligent, but they're not. Because when they start talking and they're not listening, me know, man, I know you. I know you come across some of those before. Me know, man, I know, but they don't know.
Yeah,
You
all
know
the
what I mean? Yeah, and it's a me know, and it's a show off thing because guess what happened? A lot of people in Jamaica, them like the everybody, you will live in the same neighborhood. Everybody poor, right?
Mhm.
And what you want to show off on the next person. Like the other day, a prime example, one of my cousin called me the other day. Actually, a friend of mine that I grew up with. And she's telling me that she want me to help her build a house, right? So I said to her, send me what the plan look like, right?
Mhm.
But she sent me this thing now, this big old extravagant thing. She only have herself and her daughter, right?
Mhm.
So if you notice in Jamaica, like people don't really understand things because they only do what they see other people do. You see some people dig out a whole big ass foundation, right? And excuse the ass language, the big ass foundation, right? And instead of they take whatever, because them have this big plan in their head, you know, I want a big house, so much bedroom or whatever. Meanwhile, you could have start with a one room, a kitchen and a bathroom and finish that with everything that you have laid out on the ground, right? Because if you lay something out and it sits there until the black them start get black, they change color, then you didn't have the money to finish it in the first place, right? So she's looking at me and telling me, you're asking for my help and I'm giving you my advice. And she's telling me, oh, well, that's what I want. So I said to her, well, I can't help you because I'm making a suggestion to you, right? Instead of you dig out this whole thing that you can't finish, how much bedroom or whatever, why don't you just start a 1 bedroom, a bathroom, and maybe another little room, right? And then you can add on to that later. Instead of you dig this whole thing out and you start a foundation that none of it is going to be finished, right? And you got to finish everything for it to done for you to move in there. Instead of you start one part and then you can always add to it. No. So I'm going to say, well, I can't do nothing for you then. Because, you can't follow what you see everybody I do like, oh, everybody want a big house, and you can't afford a big house. You get what I'm saying to you? I think maybe my 2 minutes might done, right? I think so. Yeah, so that's my thing with people. Like when you have knowledge and you're trying to, because I'll shut up and listen to stuff. Like me like to listen to people and hear them have to say, but once you're coming to me with something that it's no common sense whatsoever, right? I'm gonna tell you and I want you to express it because it's not my knowledge alone. I want you to tell me and make sense out of it so I can understand. You understand? But I am going to give you my part now from a builder's perspective. I'm going to tell you exactly what you should do because you don't have the money to start it and finish it. So why not, if you're out there, you have a little and you're asking for funds on people, do what you can afford. But don't try to go above because everybody around you have a house. And then because that's the thing, if you have a smaller house in the neighborhood, and that's the thing, they look at what other people are doing and trying to follow that. And you can't match up to that. You get what I'm saying to you? So it's a thing where it's a show-off thing and follow. That's the next thing. They like to follow what other people are doing instead of be a leader. You know what I mean? Who cares if you live in a little house? It's your house. It's yours. But you want to put the burden, that's the same thing we are talking about. You want to put a financial burden on somebody else to help you to make your dream come true. But you not do nothing. You barely can do anything. And then when somebody that you're asking for help, trying to advise you in the proper way to go, then you're getting an attitude. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, they are firing. So no, that's not how it works. You don't know what I'm doing here. You never come here before. What I do, what? 20 degrees now? At 20 degrees out, enough days me they out there. I work. And trust me, I know people that come from Jamaica and come here and work here for I think 2 weeks they work here and be like, no man, it's too cold. And they go back to Jamaica because they're saying it's too cold. Oh, you can't say, and me they are suffering and you go back to Jamaica and ask me if you send you money. That's crazy. You know what I say? You come here and say too cold, but me they are work, too cold for me. It's not too cold for me, But you come and you buy too cold up and you go back to Jamaica. You was here working and you asking me to send you money because they did too cold for you. So me supposed to work in a cold now and fund you, right? That's the thing, is it? Is that the Jamaica, the stigma in the society from day one is a follow fashion thing, and you shouldn't try to be better than what you are. I think they should start running commercials on the radio and TV. You know what I mean? About me know and all of them stuff, and try to change it, even start making movies about that and show people. No, seriously. No. Show people what they are, you know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean? Subconsciously, they're not looking at themselves and say, so, well, you know what I mean? You're tearing down your neighborhood and tearing down your own people then by doing those things. Because what you're trying to do, all right, you remember when we got school. If you get our little sneakers at Jamaica and they say made in the US, we happy about that, No, if you don't have a Nike sign, you go down there. If you don't have it, they will kill themselves for a name brand. But them not have nothing to eat. That's crazy. You know what I mean? If you don't have, remember I brought some clothes to Jamaica. And one of my cousins I look on it, I be like, yo, is a Celtics jersey I want? And I say, look on him. I look at him and I say, yo, look what me have on. I say, you know how much it is for a Celtics jersey? I said, this a shirt I have on like $15 feet. You really think so me I gotta take up $85 and buy you a Celtic jersey and I don't have one, I mean, I want one. Because that's how they look at things. They look at TV and watch and see all of them love and hip hop and stuff that down there, and they want to live like that. But that's not you. And by you wearing a Celtic jersey, does it say that you have money and you walk foot? You get what I'm saying to you? It's their way of thinking stuff. So they need to be reprogrammed. And I think the way that's gonna happen is through media.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Putting stuff out there so people really can because some of them don't want to learn anything. They don't want to go back to school, and they're very literate, and they're embarrassed because when they get to a certain age and they can't read and write, they don't want to go sit in a classroom and make, because the thing with Jamaican people is a show off thing. Like at certain age, they should have certain things, and when they don't have it, it stress them out and them retaliate on people very easy because they waste their life away, and then them become literate, and they're at certain age and they might look and say, damn, yeah, I should have been at this spot in my life. But it's nobody else's fault. But they tend to blame other people for their problems and don't take responsibility. You know what I mean? I've been through it with so much of them, uncle, auntie, brother, cousin, all kind of stuff. And you have to study them. And then at some point, you have to just let go because just me, if me one day I sit down and I calculate over the years how much money I send God Jamaica, it's ridiculous. Over the years, just trying to help people. Out of everybody that I try to help, if I do like a percentage wise, it's maybe like 2% out of how much hundreds of them. Like maybe like 200 people, and all of them are like family. Set up business for them and all of them stuff. And they just waste it away. And then when them call, they will stop talking to you because them not get nothing from you anymore. Why would you stop talking to me because I'm not sending you no money anymore, but you're not doing anything? You know what I mean? You see, the mind is messed up, man. So they just need to be reprogrammed. You know what I mean? Over the years, they're messed up in the head. You know?
Right. So with that being said, again, I'm sitting here and I'm listening, which we're here live on, our channel, and it's financial literacy, and everything that you're saying, you could see that it hit home, and it hit home for a lot of people. It hit home for me. It hit home for you. It hit home for Sharon. It hit home for everyone. Anyone who's listening, who's been through that, it definitely hits home, because there's a lot of passion behind wanting to help people, wanting to help your family. And you could hear it in your voice, the passion of wanting to help, and you just don't receive the thank you. It's no different than one hand washes the other. You cannot wash your hand with just one hand. If you put your one hand in water and it's not being rubbed, it's not going to be cleaned. So you have to take the other hand to wash the other hand. So a lot of times I hear things like, I'm not supposed to do something and expect anything in return. And that's the biggest foolishness that I ever could hear. Because if I have a wife or a girlfriend or anyone that's with me, if I'm thinking selfishly to not, do something that this person, to give back something that this person has given to me, then I'm not gonna feel good about that person just doing for me and I'm not doing anything back. So any which way you look at it, you have to give something back to the person that's given something to you. And I'll use my program for instance. When Applebee's, which is a sponsor of our program, gives us $2,000, Applebee's expects something back. If I do not give Applebee's a thank you letter, if I do not give Applebee's a banner when we play in our basketball games, letting people know that Applebee's is our sponsor so people can go buy their food at Applebee's. Why does Applebee's sponsor us? Because when we're playing in front of families from the other teams or in a gym, they want their banners to be seen by people so they can go to Applebee's and spend money at Applebee's. So there's something in that sponsorship for Applebee's. That's why they're doing it. So one hand is washing the other. So now if I in turn does not give Applebee's the thank you letter and the advertisement, then Applebee's is going to find a person the following year who's going to give them that and give that money to them. They're going to take that money away from my program and give it to the program who one hand washes the other. And that's what we need to understand as people. That is the solution to a lot of the problems, is one hand must wash the other. If you are when you send money to Jamaica to someone, they have to find a way to send something to you as well. It's not just thank you. You have to be able, maybe when you come to Jamaica, they cook you a nice, good meal to make you feel like you are appreciated. If you're giving money, they don't have to give money back, but they have to give appreciation back. You have to go. Myself as a business owner, when I'm getting sponsorships, I have to go out of my way to show my gratitude. If I do not do that, I'm going to lose that sponsorship. So now the passion that you have to give and help is being lost because you're being taken for granted and you don't want to really do it anymore because it's overwhelming to do for someone who's not appreciative.
Yeah, you're right about that. Sharon is still there, right?
I'm still here. I'm still here. But you know
Let me
what?
tell you what. Go ahead.
Go ahead. It's just the selfishness of people. And I don't know where this this mentality comes from, but it's just simply more prevalent in countries like Jamaica and other Caribbean countries, but especially our country. I am thinking that this needs we can change the mentality of the older folks, but with the younger people them that are coming up now. When I went to Wisconsin Dells last year, I was so pleased to see how many young Caribbean, young men, young women, but the majority of them that were actually working there through a program were from Jamaica. And I'm thinking, how can we reach other individuals in our country? You can't reprogram them, but they need to be educated on how to be financially stable or how to invest, something to kind of bring them out of the rut that they're in. What is it that you guys think can be done? Maybe in the schools. I don't know. You mentioned social. You mentioned media. Something that we can reach them to realize, if you have X amount of dollars, find your passion, find what you're good at, and use that to bring yourself out of the rut that you're in. I don't know, some kind of program to introduce to maybe schools, to let these young men and young women know that there are other things out there in life that you can do if you're not good at certain things. I don't know. It just seems as if it seems as if that because you have somebody, as I say, a foreign, you are supposed to be dependent upon them. Yes, we can extend a hand here and there, but show me where the money is going. Show me what you're using that money towards. Because it's not just to go buy food or to go buy dress, or they have to like think outside the box. That's my concern. It's just like myself and many others we're buying these stocks. We're buying it for a reason. We want to see the end result. We can say, okay, we have X amount, we can pull this out and we can reinvest it into something else to help others. What kind of programs can we introduce to, I don't know, schools, church, to educate, or for example, at my church, we even had a computer classes for adults to teach them basic computer skill. After school program, things like that to help them. And there are some people who have actually gotten jobs here through programs like these. So how can we introduce these things to this churches and to schools in Jamaica to bring, to bring them up to the level that they should be are not so dependent upon us, so they can be more self-sufficient.
Sharon, I think it starts at home. I think what has to change is if I have a son or a daughter,
Mhm.
even if I'm 17, 16, or if I'm 18, I have to have parents who is going to teach me the responsibility or to take responsibility for what I've done.
Mhm.
And I think that's what will make people understand that they have to change, by doing the right thing. You have a son or a daughter, it's your responsibility. You got to take care of that son or daughter. I think where we lost a lot of people was when I was growing up, I got a lot of beating. A lot of parents these days, they don't really, discipline their kids that much. So
Mhm.
when you don't discipline your kids, they kind of parent you instead of you parenting them. And I find that to be one of the problems. You can love your child in a different way. So just because my family beat me growing up to get me to listen and have a better understanding of life, which worked because it made me the person that I am today,
Mhm.
I still came back and taught my son in a different way. But when I taught him in a different way, I did not let him get away with things that I know would hurt him later on in life. I still didn't want to train him the way that I was trained, even though it was beneficial to me to turn me into the person that I am. I took a different route, which still made my son the same. It's like the apple did not fall too far from the tree. So, even though I did not do the same parenting, I still took something from what they taught me,
Mhm.
but I did it in a different way, and it worked. So I think it's parenting that will definitely help people to, understand what their responsibilities are. Because believe it or not, when we're getting up and we're helping so many people because they rely on us, we're hindering them from doing it themselves. So
Exactly.
we're gonna have to stop. And what
Right.
happens when you stop? If you used to help me and you're just not helping me anymore, and the more people do that, the more I'm gonna do for myself. So that's the solution to the problem, is just to stop. Now you help someone who definitely one hand washes the other, where they appreciate it because they are going to do something for themselves and you're going to continue to help them. But for the people who is just relying on you, you have to stop. And that's the solution. You want an education? There's YouTube. You can definitely educate yourself on YouTube. You don't really need someone to do it for you. You got to help yourself before someone else can help you. So I just
Absolutely.
think people need to take that approach.
Mhm.
All
You're
right.
right.
All right, let me tell you what happened. Um, that's a tough one now because these parents now, if you notice, there's a lot of good people still left at Jamaica because when I go in there and especially when you go to like the markets and stuff like that, and you see people selling stuff and you have kids out there, like I remember one time, right? I was coming from I think Wochime I come from. You remember Zephatan, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, Zephatan is where I born.
Yeah.
And right up by the train line there, right there by the train line up the street. So
Yeah.
stop right by Zephatan where them people are selling stuff, right? So when you stop, you have all of these people run to your car and selling you things, right?
Hmm.
I hear this little voice in the background, Mister, did you buy some Aki from me? Right? There are a little voice in there you can't see him because everybody taller than him.
Hmm.
Mister, could you buy some Aki please for me? So I'm looking and I'm trying to find and him come up be like, oh mister, please, I have a dozen Aki here. I just wanna to sell them so I can go buy like him last I go buy a chicken back for your mother and his
Mm,
sister, right?
Mhm.
So yo, that tug for me really hard,
mm,
like, you know what I mean? So I said to him, say, where the rest of your Aki there? So as a matter of fact, I took his Aki and I just give him back to him and I pay him for more than his Aki. I'm tell him so we just go
mm,
home for the evening, you know what I mean? You see a
mm,
little kid like that. That kid was so young. He must be at least, well, that's a more 8, 9 year old.
mm,
You know what I mean? And that tug on my heartstring to see a little kid like that out there selling stuff to go feed his mom and his sister.
mm,
And I look at myself in that kid. You know, it happened to me a couple times along the way. It's like a couple of them y'all adapt. One of them, um, right in Linstead, he was selling candy bar. And then now when him come up to me, have a big chop across his head.
mm, mm,
So I asked him what happened. Him say I run for go fetch water from a pipe and he fell. But he didn't get no stitches or anything in his head, you know what I mean?
mhm,
So because him say mother can't afford it because she work until late and stuff like that. And he's out there walking up and down selling candy. So what I did, I gave him money and tell him to go up to the hospital and let them deal with it. Because those are the things. You look at those kids, they're trying their best. And I could see myself if things had worked out anywhere different, I could have seen myself I do stuff like what they're doing. And then now
mm,
in the meantime, you have some of them out there, they have so much pride, they wouldn't do stuff like that. They would rather go steal and you know what I mean?
mhm,
And so those are the ones that you have to look for and help because they want something over their life. Because
mhm,
most of them now go sell nothing, they rather go steal it from somebody, you know? And those are the ones that get picked on because the one them where see them out there selling stuff, they're looking down at them, oh, you out instead of sell things and whatever, instead of like looking at them as an example to help yourself. You know what I mean? And that's all from if you can look back at certain things, even when we was growing up, it's like most people, instead of you help your brother and sister them or your friends them, it's like a show off thing because guess what? Your shoes look a certain way coming to school or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not a thing I have to help you, it's to talk about you and put you down. Because me even remember when me I go into school, my father live in America and him never used to really do nothing. And for the longest, me have a khaki shirt, but a brown pants me I wear. You get what I say? Because it wasn't there for my mother. Like she used to work. My mother used to go wash people clothes to send me to school. You know? And from my father leave, him basically never look back. So it was a tough thing. So me now, I made up my mind for respect to my mother, I don't get in any kind of trouble because I kind of at a young age see what she have to go through. And for me to put more burden upon her, and I'm the oldest because she always tell me the younger ones, them look up to me. So I need to set an example for them. So that even when I go to school, that was always in the back of my mind not to get in any kind of trouble. Just keep a low profile, don't do anything stupid. But as you were saying before, um, nobody have respect for churches anymore. Few people in Jamaica. Church used to be the thing. People used to be scared. The schools are not doing it anymore. So
mhm,
and the parents, if you look at these parents now, all they care about is the cell phone and social media. You know what I mean? Everything them post. And I think the best way to reach some of these people, as I said before, we got to start putting stuff out there. And a lot of
mhm,
people is doing it already. We got to start putting it on social media and expose what they're doing to themselves and to their kids. You know what I mean? Because these people leave it up, they're not raising their kids anymore. They're leaving it up to society. Because if you really think about it, people kill teachers in Jamaica because they discipline their kid.
mm,
So what are you telling your kid now if you're at school now? Because a teacher discipline your kid. What are you telling your kid? You know what I mean? About discipline. If a teacher back then, when we was going to school back then, if we not do full homework, we can't show up at school, dude. We're gonna die. You know what I mean? Trust me, I remember one specific teacher in a Linton school. I don't know if you remember that dude that them called Gorilla. You remember him?
No.
You don't remember him?
Uh-uh.
And that pregnant lady, trust me, you get bust up for anything. If you come 1 minute late, remember Mr. White? Once them close the school gate, that's it for you, You know what I mean? Morning devotion, they don't do devotion anymore. Those are things that used to bring people together. You know what I mean? They throw away the natural stuff and fiber of society that you pray together in the morning. You know what I mean? And you take it, school was more of a together thing back then. You know what I mean? Now kids are bring gun, go to school, go shoot teacher. Parents are go fight off teacher at school because they don't even touch them, because you talk to me kid a certain kind of way. Come on, yo. So what are you telling your kid? So these parents are kids raising kids now. You know what I mean? So we have to figure out a way of we get to them. You know what I mean? The way that they know, and expose their behavior to them so they can see like what kind of society the next society gonna be by the way or you raising your kids. Because you look, let me see video with like little 12-year-old kids in a dance at Jamaica. Let me tell you something. Me as a 12-year-old, if my mother knows a dance I keep out the road, me can't ever walk past it. You understand what I mean? I said she sent me to walk around the other way. These kids now are 12-year-old in a party. You know what I mean? That means there's something definitely wrong with that. Where are their parents at? And as you said, it starts at the yard, but if at the house there's no stability, then it can't start there. So we have to reach out to them through media, what they know about and what they live on every day. And we got to bring some old things back. You know what I mean? Discipline.
All right, to jump in right there. Remember I said, we have to, just like how you say no, listen, each and every person have to start worrying about themselves, because there comes a time in life when you can't help nobody anymore. And the world has reached there. So some of the old ways that we had that worked for us is not going to work for them. Social media has taken over, and it is what it is. When I coach my basketball team, I have to coach them in a different way. I can't coach them the same way I was coached. It's just not going to happen. They are different. They're different. I mean, so I get what you're saying, but it's almost like out with the old, in with the new. There's getting ready to be, we're gonna all be shopping with digital money. Fiat currencies is gonna be gone. We're not gonna ask for that money back. It's something new. That's just how the world is. Maybe one day God will come take his world. But right now we have to live with the changes that's happening. It was told that it was gonna get from bad to worse.
Yeah.
So we can't harp on the changes that's happening. We just got to live with them, and we have to lead by example, the best way we can. We cannot, I said this earlier to someone, you cannot bring a horse to the water and teach him how to drink. You can't. So you have to bring the horse to the water and just leave the horse. If you bring a horse to water and he's not drinking, you just gotta leave the horse alone. So it's out with the old and in with the new. So the way I deal with the younger generation, they listen to me. I lead by example. I don't have a problem with the younger generation just from me personally. Do I feel sometimes they're selfish and things like that? Yeah, I feel that. But I'm just not going to harp on it because it's not going to do me no good. Run up my pressure for no reason at all. Back in the days, our parents used to run up their pressure. You know, like a lot of our older folks, they have high blood pressure. I ain't got no high blood pressure, and I'm not gonna let nobody give it to me.
Mm,
You know, so I learned that. You know, so I have a son. My son's 21. I'm not gonna let him give me high blood pressure. He's giving his mom high blood pressure right now. He's not gonna give it to me. You know, and that's because I made a decision that I was gonna parent him in a way where, you know what, this is what your generation is doing, but I'm gonna die happy
Mhm.
because I'm not gonna stress myself out over the fact that I brought you here and I'm gonna make me feel like because I brought you here, I gotta beat you for you to get it. I don't gotta beat him for him to get it.
oh,
You know, I just gotta talk, and if you don't listen, you suffer the consequences.
There you
yep.
go.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's the approach we have to take. So now when we're seeing the social media taking over, you know what, I'm not saying let it, but you have to lead by example in the best way that you can, because
Mhm.
there is a lot of good people still out there. Like you mentioned, there's that little boy that's trying to sell his aki to do whatever. When I go to Jamaica, hey, listen, when I used to live in New York, they told me Florida was like the worst place to live because of hurricanes. And I was scared to come to Florida. You
Mhm.
see, when I came to Florida, man, where's a hurricane? That's what I said.
Mhm.
People always make it worse than what it is.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I go to Jamaica, I love it there. I don't want to leave. But when I'm here in the United States, all I hear is about the killing. They're killing people everywhere.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But we make things worse than what it is. There's worse things happening in the United States than it is in some of these islands.
Mm.
But because it's so small and we're passionate about it, it bothers us because we want to see our little paradise be great.
That's
You know?
true.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, man, I think me personally, in my world and trying to get everyone here to invest so we can make things better for ourselves. That's why we're talking about the financial strain. We don't want that financial strain. We want the solution. And COVID-19 has provided us with that solution to be able to wake up and start to turn $10 into $1,000. And if we can teach those things to our fellow Jamaicans or anyone out there that's listening, and just keep on trying that way, because believe it or not, financial stability does solve a lot of problems. It really does.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So maybe that's the approach that we should take. So now I'm going to jump, and we've been on for a little while, but I'm going to try to jump in and get some of this solution in there. Let me just go to my notes really quickly. All right. So first thing on the list, how to turn a loss into a gain. I know we're all on the stock market, right? Andrew, are you on the stock market or you're not on there yet?
Not no.
Okay, so Sharon, you are, because you understand it. So you know all about the red days. So again, let me read it again. How to turn your loss into a gain. Sharon, you know how to turn your loss into a gain?
No, I want to hear from you.
You want to hear from me? All right. So I'm going to give an example of when I got started on the stock market. So if I invested, say, in Tesla, and Tesla was $200, and I put my
Mhm.
$200 and I bought one share, so it's $200 a share, and my $200 went down to 150 because Tesla stock went down.
Mhm.
That's a loss.
Right.
Most people would take that money and run, because if you had $200 in the bank, it would stay $200. So that's what most poorer people is thinking, that they don't want to lose. So they leave that $200 in the bank and they'll add another 100 to make it three. So in their mind is like, I'm saving money, or I'm saving whatever I can save. Whereas if you tell them to put that money in the stock market, immediately they go to the fact that I can lose that money. But they're not thinking about how to turn a loss into a gain. Because when you put that $200 in the bank, it gains by you adding to it. But guess what? When you put that $200 in a stock, it's going to go up and down like a roller coaster. So it goes from 200 to 150. It may even go further down to 100 and you may lose half your money. But what's happening is once you bought that one share or two shares, it's not going to change. It's going to stay that way. So even if it went down to $1, you still have a chance for that stock to come back. So a lot of people don't have the patience to wait until there is a gain. You know, so you turn that loss into a gain by being patient. No matter how far the stock goes down, especially if you did your research and you know that this stock is a great stock, just look at it as you're getting a discount. No different than buying a computer that's $1,000 and you got it for $200. Run out of that store with that computer because you got a bargain. So when a stock is a great stock and it goes down, you're getting it at a bargain when it's going down. And a lot of people don't have the patience to wait until the stock goes back up. So that's how you turn your loss into a gain, by being patient with that stock that you researched and believed in. Hopefully I answered that very well.
You most certainly did.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't have the patience, and you got to be patient, you know. And before I move on, let's use today, for instance. Today, I lost a lot, meaning it went down, my portfolio went down a lot, you know, because there's going to be opportunities for these stocks to come back very strong and go to a new high.
Mhm.
You know, so that's why you don't worry too much about your loss when you've done your research with the stocks that you're investing in. Now, if you just go and you buy some stock that is not a good stock, then yeah, you can really lose. But you do your research and you shall gain. All right, next thing. Go ahead.
So, okay, so how do you know? So once you've done the research, how do I know if it is a good stock? What am I looking for in an article, or to know that this is a good stock to hold on to?
Okay. When you do your research, you want to check the company's financials.
Okay.
You know, you definitely want to see how, if I have a company and I'm not managing my money well, and there's some kind of under the table stuff going on, you have to pay attention to the news. You have to really look deep within that company. You have to find out what is going on with that company. And I'll use SOS, for instance. I gave you guys SOS.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to be on top of things, trying to find out, okay, why did SOS dip so low? Because I can be honest with you that when it hit $15, I did not expect it right now to be $10. But again, SOS is not going nowhere as far as I know. Am I 100%? No, but I have to have the belief because of the research that I've done. Now, I just don't know why it dipped so low. I kind of have an idea, but I did not believe that it would dip so low. But I have faith in the stock that the stock is going to come back strong because of that amount of dip. Because the crypto, it's coming. So again, it's patience that you have to use. So I do my research and I have my belief in that stock. But again, it dipped lower than I thought it would. So I have to continue to do research to find out, is there something that I'm missing why this stock dipped as low as it did?
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. But if you see it dip low, but it didn't dip where it was, and
Right.
that's the key.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's the key thing. You're
Yeah.
still at a gain. So that's where you turn your loss into a gain, because you lost and you're still in a gain.
Yes. Yes. Because I mean, when I saw mine, I said, okay, it's in the. I think it has been in the red for maybe 2 days. 2 days. But I said, I'm not gonna worry. I'm just gonna just let it stay there, and we'll see what happens. In the long run.
Listen, Sharon, I've seen stocks go from $5 and run up to $15 and come down to $10 and run back down to $4 below what you purchased it for. And then
Mhm.
I've seen people sell it and not realize that that stock did that for a reason, or the reasons why that stock did that. And then that stock says, okay, you want to take your money? You fool. Watch me now.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I'm
So,
gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to them.
yep, that's it. You gotta hold them.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, so the next thing is when time and patience is your best friend. Well, I just kind of ran over that. You, like you just said, you gotta hold it. Time and patience is your best friend. You just gotta think of it like that when you're investing.
Mhm.
It's like me and Andrew. We've been friends for years. Look, years later we found back each other like we never left.
The question though, with time and patience, you still have to like maybe keep looking into the company though to see what's going on with them though.
Yeah, you definitely do. You never want to leave your money. I hear some people say, hey, just buy and leave it. No, man, you want to buy and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's be like, oh, let me have my kids and leave them. No, you want to watch your kids. You want to make sure you, in your kids' lives, you want to make sure they learning from you. So when you buy your stocks, listen, you got to watch, you got to pay attention, to the news. You got to research even more. Even when you research a stock and know that it's a great stock, keep researching,
Mm-hmm.
keep listening, keep
Mhm.
learning about it. What happens when you have 6,000 share of that stock and you learn and keep learning about it? You may buy more of that stock and it may go from 6,000 to 12,000. You may double your position because of the news. You keep researching, you keep understanding it. So definitely, man, we definitely got to use time, patience. Okay. The larger the investment, the bigger the loss. Anyone wants to touch on this one or want me to
I
keep
think
going?
I think you're the best candidate to touch on that one.
You guys are funny. All right. For instance, myself, the larger the investment, the bigger the loss, because when you have more money invested, meaning more stocks or more shares,
Mm-hmm.
your money is going to go down further. So let's just say someone have $1 million in the stock market. They probably going to go down to 700,000. Now that's a big loss. We may look at that and be like, 700,000. I'm out of here. I'm selling my. It lost like 3,000, 300,000. That's a lot to us. But when you put $10 in a stock, if you started small and it goes to $7, isn't that the same thing?
Yep.
It is. So yes, the bigger the investment, the bigger the loss. Because when you have $1 million and it drops down to 700,000, it's, of course you're like, my God, that's a lot of money. But if
Mhm.
you think about it, that $10 That drop to 7 is the same thing. Now, if you have a bunch of stocks, you're just gonna lose more because you're investing more, that's all. So instead of having just $10 in one stock, you have many stocks, you're gonna lose a lot. It's gonna go down because guess what? The market goes up and down, and today you might be down 5,000 and the next day you might be down another 2,000. That's 7,000 you're down.
Mhm.
2 red days, and then the third day comes and you gain back 2,000. Now you're still down 5,000. The next day comes and you gain back another 1,000. Now you're down 4,000. Sometimes it's a slow grind back. That's why you got to be patient. It's not overnight success. It's patience. Patience is your best friend.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To go and doing these things, you have to go in there with a mindset of it's not all gain. You're gonna have losses.
Yeah.
So
And
if you go in there just think you're gonna win all the time and you're losing, then it's gonna frustrate you.
yeah, you got to be patient with your investment because on the day, I'll give a quick example. I've been investing since March and I've had some gains. And I was like sitting there, I'm like, these stocks, I believe in them, but wow, they're taking some time. And let me tell you, there's a time frame, it seems, when the stocks just decide, you know what, today I'm going to give you $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day you're like, wait, hold on. I just gained $10,000 and you bring me back down to 5. And you're sitting there like, man, I'm going to be patient. 3 months later, you go from that 5,000 to 20,000. You're like, I'm glad I was patient.
Mm-hmm.
And then a month later, you're down to $15,000, lost back 5. 2 weeks later, you're up to $30,000. One day later, you're down to $17,000 from your $30,000. Then 3 months later, you're up to $100,000. That's the way the stock market works if you have great stocks, to be honest. And you just see the rise like that. But you got to be patient, to have those type of gains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, the bank's not bringing those type of gains, guys. You buy good stocks, you're going to get those type of gains. But to be honest with you, the way it is right now, there's a lot of money being made every day. So it's not even like I'm telling you. I promise you, tomorrow, I can tell you I was down 3,000, almost 3,500 today.
Mm-hmm.
And I can almost tell you that if it's not tomorrow, next week sometimes, I'm going to gain that back probably double time.
So let me ask you, Savon, when you gain back, let's say if you gain back that double time, what do you do with that gain? You let it sit there or you put it up? Do you take it out? What do you do with the gain?
Well, I'm a long-term investor. I have the choice to either take some profit. I will never sell all my profits. So in other words, if you have 300 shares in Tesla and you wanted to take profit, you might want to sell half. Because if you bought Tesla at $1 and it went up to $5, you don't want to sell all your shares and lose out at the point that you bought it at. Because in case Tesla continue to go up, at least you still have it at the low price that you bought it. So yes, you can take profit, but never sell all your shares.
Okay.
And I'm no financial advisor. I'm just sharing, because sharing is caring. You're investing at your own risk, but that's the way that I go about when I sell, good stocks is to, sell some of it. That way you still have your shares that you bought it at.
Right. Got you.
So yeah, you could take your profit at any time because you can always buy back in. It's called you know, whether you're average up or you're average down, you are still investing in a stock that could continue to grow. You know, if you had 100 shares of SOS at $5 and SOS went to $10 and you took profit and sold half, and when you sold half at $10, it went back down to $7, you could still maybe take that money that you took out and call Andrew and say, Andrew, I need you to do my kitchen for me, and pay Andrew to do your kitchen.
Mhm.
And then you can go back at a later time when SOS is at $7 or $8 or $9 and buy back some more shares because you believe that SOS is going to keep going up to maybe $30. So you can make money along the way, certainly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I have to bow out now, gentlemen.
Me too.
Okay. All
And,
right. So,
and I'm tired. I don't even know how I'm functioning.
okay. Well, I just wait until you close out then.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna try to wrap it up in 4 minutes, 11 o'clock. All right, so let me just read through this really quickly so we can get out of here then. Well, I think I touched on this. The bigger the loss, the higher the gain. I touched on that, so I'm sure we understand that as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, how investment tips can help you with financial strain. Well, I think I gave some tips to help with financial strain. Be patient.
Mhm.
Think I spoke about quite a few things that can help people with financial strain. You have to invest your money. Can't leave it in the bank. Can't be afraid of losses. Do your research and invest in, you know, the great stocks. There's a lot of great stocks out there.
Mhm. Yeah, you know what?
Huh?
For the best thing for us to, if you really think about it, like, you know, being responsible, we got to put our money into stuff because the irresponsible ones, like what we was talking about before, they rather put their money into materialistic things that doesn't give them any gain,
Mm,
or it doesn't help with their future. So even if we take our money and putting into stuff instead of giving it to somebody, you know what I mean, that's not giving us back anything. That's a gain already, you know what I mean? Because when you give it to somebody that's not trying to help to propel you in life, it's like you're just throwing your money away, but at least you give yourself a chance of succeeding in some kind of way by putting it into something that you can get something from, you know?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's definitely well said. It's the truth. Because instead of you sending that money like you used to send it, invest it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, invest it because
That's
then at
right.
least you will say you try, you know, you're not, and it's in your control. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You
Hmm.
don't have to keep beating a dead horse. You can't say, well, all right, this is my decision. And then if it don't work out the way you plan, then you just keep going because then at least you're trying to succeed at something, but not through somebody else, or not trying to make somebody else's dream come true that you have no control over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, when you do that now, and the next thing is what I always say to people, and you hear me say it numerous times before, we got to start making our money work for us and stop working for money.
Yeah.
That's right. You said it good. That's right.
Yeah. Make the money work for you because, as I tell you all the time, when most people talk about, oh, I got to save up to take this trip. But when them come back from the trip, they're in the red. Remember, we spoke about this because you have to keep playing catch up all the time.
Mm,
Mm,
Because if every time you have to do something, you have to save up for it, it shouldn't be like that.
mm,
yeah.
mm, mm.
Because then you're always saving up to do, because then oh, you save that money and you go spend it. When you come back to go to work, you're gonna have to work to put that back or you get what I'm saying to you? So
Right.
we as black people, we always take the money put in at the bank. The bank don't do nothing for you.
Mm.
I remember Bank of America, when I had my trucking business, I used to have money coming through the crazy. One time I go ask them for a loan, they tell me no. You know what I mean?
Mm,
They tell me I'm not doing enough business with them. I'm gonna pull out a whole long sheet and I say, what do you mean by I'm not doing enough business with you guys? So you know what I did? I pull out my money. The only reason why I had Bank of America, because when I go anywhere in this country, there's a Bank of America there, even if it's an ATM. And
mm,
it's much easier because even if I come down to Florida and I get a check, I can deposit it. And by the time I come home, it changed, you know?
mm.
So you know what I did? One day I just went there and I pull out all my money and I went to a credit union. They tell me I
Mm.
couldn't pull out all of it one time. I tell them someone want to close my account, but like, no, and they have people calling me because they don't want me to leave. So I said, I thought I wasn't doing enough business with you guys. Why you don't want me to leave? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh, well, we can help you with this and help you with that. I say, no, it's too late because you see, when they feel threatened, that's when they want to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as you said, they take your money to do other stuff with it because you're putting your money in the bank and they're taking it, lending it to other people and making money off of it. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I took my money out and I went to a credit union and I deposited in there and I could get anything from that credit union,
Yeah.
anything I want. You know what I mean? One other thing I learned the other day. I didn't know this, but in this country, like every company that you work for, right?
Mhm.
They take out the insurance on you.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yes, they do.
All right. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. They take out the insurance on you.
Yes.
Any company you work for in this United States, they have an insurance on your head. So if you die, right,
Yep.
they get that money. You can imagine, and it's legal.
And it's legal.
Yeah, it's legal for them to take out any as you sign that application and you start working, they pull out the insurance. And it's in little
Yes.
fine prints there, and they don't even have to tell you about it. But it's something legal that they do. They take out the insurance on your head,
Mhm.
right? And they make money off of people like crazy with that.
Yes, they do.
Just
Yes.
yeah, I didn't know. I learned that the other day. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, they give you
So there's a lot.
that piece of paper to sign.
Yeah, I know, but they don't even have to tell you about it either. That's the next thing, they don't even have to tell you about it.
But
But
Mm-mm.
if you don't sign it, they'll tell you about it.
yeah, but Walmart, all of them big companies, Amazon, every person in Amazon, there's an insurance on there. So for instance, if you drive on an Amazon truck and you die, the money that they collect off of you, you don't even see it. But
Yeah.
they make money off of you. You know what I mean? That's the reason why when you look at these insurance companies and you see that they're so big and rich, those are a whole bunch of little things that they do behind the scenes that me and you regular don't know about. Sharon know about it because she said yes,
Oh
but
yes. Oh
it's some
yes.
crazy. When I heard about that, I was like, really? Any company, they take out the insurance on you. It doesn't matter who it is. You know what I mean?
More
So
than that,
there's a lot of things.
more than that insurance, there's a lot of
Mm,
things that we don't know or didn't know.
mhm,
Now we can
yeah.
know.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yep.
So all we have to do, knowledge is power, and
Yeah,
we
just
just keep
educate
this up on it.
ourselves.
Yes.
Anytime, what I do when I figure out I have this book, it's not all the time you're gonna remember everything that come to your head, even during the day at work or stuff like that. I always jot down some stuff, you know what I mean? I have this little thing that I just write, even a little
Mm-hmm.
sentence,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps me to remember what I was thinking about at that moment. And it's always something important,
Yeah.
Because
that works.
that's how stuff come to you sometime. You know, when you're working or you're doing something or you're driving down the road, something will just pop in your head. And then you all go home and you can't remember it. But when you go refer back to what you wrote down, now you'll be like, oh yeah, that's what I was thinking about. You know? So
Mhm.
this is how it goes.
Well,
But
with that,
Sharon, I appreciate you.
yeah. Go ahead.
Sharon,
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
nice meeting you. Nice meeting you. We're gonna
Nice
link up
meeting to
again,
you
right?
too. We absolutely
Mm.
will, guys. We definitely will.
And
Yeah.
before you guys go, I'm not sure if Jasmine fell asleep, but we had Jasmine on the line. She didn't really want to speak. So,
Hold on, Jasmine. Oh yeah, there's a Jasmine
I'm
right there.
here.
oh
Hi,
wow.
nice to meet you
Oh, the voice.
guys.
I heard the voice. Oh my God.
Hi,
Oh wow.
Jasmine.
She's spoken.
Hi.
Hi, Jasmine.
Oh, you
Hi,
really.
how are you?
Wait, hold up. I'm glad you spoke. Sharon, I know you gotta go, but just give me like 2 minutes.
Okay.
Jasmine, how are you?
I'm good.
That's good. You know, you told me you wasn't gonna say anything. Now look at you. Wow, I can't believe. I thought maybe you fell asleep because the reason why I said give me a few minutes, Sharon. Jasmine is a dedicated person. She's in school. You want to tell them, Jasmine, so I don't have to tell them. Tell them what you're in school for. You know, just brief.
Yeah, I'm currently in school to be a dentist. I want to open up my own practice, my own dental practice. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
Wonderful.
And which school you go to?
I go to Florida Atlantic University in Florida. It's in Boca Raton, Florida.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
That's
Beautiful.
great. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
and Jasmine is very ambitious. She caught my attention, you know, because of her ambition. You know, I like helping young people, and she just gave me this motivation, you know, because I'm like, wow, a young person who wants to do good. So all of the stuff that we saying that bothers us, I'm
Mhm.
sure Jasmine is not one of them young people that's gonna bother you.
Yeah, definitely not.
The next thing is,
Oh,
she,
oh, wow.
she can steer other young people, you know, in her
Exactly.
direction, you know, because she can more relate to them, you know, with what's going on now, you know.
Yeah.
And and you see the thing is it now, like you're doing this. And when you hear some people say, oh, you know what I mean, that's too much for them. Like, you know, anytime you hear a person speak negative before they even try something, they don't want to do anything. Because in your mind, you already tell yourself that it's hard already or you can't do it. So guess what? You already block yourself. But
Mm-hmm.
even for you to say, look how far you reach now. You're going to school right now, and you didn't even say you want to go work for such and such a person. You want to own your own practice. So
Mhm.
you already put that in your head already. That's what you want to do. So nothing is going to stop you because you're not blocking yourself from doing it. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? You're telling yourself that that's what you want. But some people, you meet some people, and you say to them, "Oh, pick up that off the ground," and be like, "Oh no, it look heavy." They didn't even try it first before them even say, "Well, okay, it's heavy. I can't lift it up." But they're telling you that it looks heavy, but they didn't
Mhm.
try. So, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's a
Mhm.
good thing though. For you to, for you to aim high like that. That's very good.
You're on the
Thank
right path.
you.
Yeah, you're on the right path. Congratulations in advance
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
Thank you.
Even though me have kind of all right teeth, I'll be your first patient.
Okay, I'll get you right. I can
All
give you
right.
some veneers or anything you want.
No, I don't need nothing but still, you know. You know if you can't see them, I'm all right.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
And
All right,
Jasmine
but
is investing, guys. You know, she started investing as well. So she saw gain, and then today was a red day for her as well. So we kind of went over the little red days, spoke earlier
mm,
about it. So she is investing, you know, so she'll definitely gonna own her own practice by buying
wow,
Yes.
that's very nice. Yeah, I wish
Yes.
more young people was like you. You know what I mean? Like because you know what I tell like younger people all the time with like even what I go through. I know how hard I had to work. Really, I'm still not reaching nowhere. Like, why not be this kind of person like Jasmine at a younger age then you can go party afterwards. So you can party whenever you
Mhm.
want to party. But these people don't think so, oh, I need to party while I'm young. Then when them get older, that's when they're busting their butt. You know
Right,
what I mean?
but and you can also like do it while you're doing your work as well, because I still have some times where I do go out. So
Mhm.
they're just making excuses, honestly.
Yeah, you see, and you can speak for that because you're around people who they are your age, and you see it for yourself what kind of excuse they're making not to do what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
trust me, I'm very proud of you. Even though I don't know you, that's a good thing. I like to see when people make progress like that. You know what I mean?
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Now you can draw other young people in your direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
try, but sometimes a lot of young people like in our generation, they don't like to listen. So it's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Mm.
Trust me, I do understand. I have a daughter. She's 23 and she's in school for nursing. But my God, they just want to have their way and their way only. So I do understand. I
Mhm.
understand.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
like you guys were saying, social media does play a big part in how we look at like the world now, because
Mhm.
we literally wake up and go on our phones. So like
Yeah.
social media plays a big part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can
But with help
also use social
people
media
like
though.
you, it's gonna be a big help, because you're not just like, especially looking at everything on social media now, everybody want to put everybody on blast. And then, what I mean, it's tearing down each other. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So the thing is, there's not, because even we older, we can't look at every young people as stupid, because you have some people out there who well disciplined, and not everybody is the same. Some people, you know, are doing good at a young age, and and responsible like how you are with stuff. So it's
Mhm.
just you have to pick. Sometimes you have friends, were like holding you back, and you have to really let them go. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because they're just pulling you down. Instead of they trying to elevate themselves to where you're at, they're pulling you down. So sometimes you have to just walk away and leave some people behind. You know what I mean? Because them still want to be ghetto, and them still don't want to do nothing with their life. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But at a young age, trust me, respect. I applaud you, and
Mhm.
I hope you. Oh, by the way, I can renovate your practice. Yeah.
I'll keep that in
And
mind. I have a couple more years to go, but once I start
Yeah. Don't
thinking
worry
about the
about that. Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
He said he's there when you're ready.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll
Trust
definitely
me.
and
remember you.
I guess you travel from state to state then.
Yeah, I do. All over.
That's good. That's good. That's
Mhm.
good. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's nice chatting. When is our next class again?
Sunday,
All right.
Sunday at 9
Def-
p.m.
Okay.
All right.
All
So
right.
every time we do it, it's gonna be at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we're gonna work with 9 o'clock. The thing I want to really accomplish, which is why I started the 2 minute drill, you know. But
Yeah.
Mr. Andrew over here is so passionate, he's got to pass 2 minutes.
Yeah. Gotta get,
But
you know what? I'm gonna do a stopwatch next time.
yeah, we need to, because
Alarm.
yeah, we need to,
Yeah.
because you know what, we can become so passionate that we keep going, but we need to
Yeah.
set it at a minimum 45 minutes. That way we can get on and off.
Everybody
And,
can get their turn.
Yeah.
and and one thing, I mean, can you send the topic out maybe the topic or topics out, on time so we can at least have a ruminate in our spirit so we can know what we're going to talk about.
Yes, we'll
Okay.
definitely do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Good
All right.
idea. Yeah.
Just to brief you, Sunday I want it to be about the young people. So that's the goal we've been talking about. Like Jasmine, you're here right now. We were gonna do a seminar on young people investing,
Okay.
which you are already doing. So we spoke earlier about what can we do, to change, some of these young people's mind. And I said, financial literacy. We just have to, instead of harping on the wrongs that we feel like they are doing, we should just show them a way, give them a tool that can help them financially, you know, and that may take away some of the problems. You know, when they go on social media, instead of going on there to do certain things that we think is not helping them, maybe now they'll go on there doing stuff that will help them, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So with that
All
being
right.
said, I'm going to go to my bed.
Okay, good
All
night,
right.
everybody.
Good night.
All right. All right.
Good
Hey,
You
night.
good
guys be
night.
safe.
Bye.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mm.